Hey guys, if you can hear my voice, please let me know, and we are going to start in 2 minutes. Okay, awesome. Today we are going to solve the problem on the CCC questions. So let's just pull out the question, and like you guys already know how to do that. Just type CCC questions and go to Google, and now you need to go click on the Waterloo website, and in the past contest you scroll down, and of course is you choose the in the last session, and there's a problems, test and solution. You choose 2018 and you click on junior program, because we are working on the junior program. And by the way, you can go here to our website, Data Area IT Association, and also you can choose the same question called Are we there yet? Okay. We are going to do the bootstrap next week, because every 2 weeks I switch, and I want you guys to have some fun on the web programming or on the Python. So I know some of you might preparing for the contest, so that's why we just switching them. And like what I told you before, if you are planning to take the test next year, it's good for you to go through all the questions in each year, in case you have some problem, and you can talk to me or send me an email. And by the way, I know that some of the questions are very hard, but we can talk to some the other students, and we can do a discussion on that. So, but today we are going to work on the J3 question. So like every time I told you, when you are in your test, you need to have a paper and a pen. And like here I use, since I need to show you, so that's why I have the sticky note. And with the sticky note, I always take note on the numbers and help me to remind what's going on. So I have the small sticky note here, and I have to throw on the front and set the font size to bigger. Let's just do 18. Yep, that's good. So you can read the question by yourself, and I'm gonna read it, and probably we are doing the same thing, but this question is easier. It's just saying you are going to drive a long drive from on a very straight road. Let's say, for example, we are driving through 5 cities. So let's say we are driving from Edmonton and go to Calgary, and then going to Vancouver, and then we are going to Seattle. Yeah, I used to live in Seattle, so yeah, when I worked for Microsoft, and and then Seattle, and then Seattle, then let's say just Los Angeles or Vegas, okay. And you can go Vegas, right? So there are 5 cities here. And as you travel, you record the distance between each pair, and which means it's like Edmonton to Calgary, Calgary to Vancouver, Vancouver to Seattle, Seattle to Vegas. So every trip you just take a note. So yeah, and then you calculate the distance between the 2 cities, which is easy. And then in the input specification, it's just telling you there's only one line, the first line, and there are 4 positions, and each position they have like the distance. For example, for this one, 3, it should be from Edmonton to Calgary, and for 10 is Calgary to Vancouver. So Vancouver to Seattle is 12, and Seattle to Vegas, Las Vegas, right? So is 5. So obviously the distance is not like in your map, but is we just in this question we just saying we have this kind of cities, okay? And then we have the output specification. The output should be filized with 1 to 5, containing the distance from city to cities. And then it just like saying the output, what does it mean is like if you start from Edmonton, okay, if you start from Edmonton if you start from Edmonton, and then you should like from Edmonton to Edmonton, obviously is 0. Like the output is 0, right? Edmonton to Edmonton is 0. Then Edmonton to Calgary is 3, and then Edmonton to Vancouver is 3 plus 10 equal to 13. In Edmonton to Seattle is 3 plus 10 for 12 equal to, I know it's 25. So from Edmonton to Vegas is 30, because you can plus all of them together, okay? So if you start from Calgary, and if you start from Calgary to Calgary is 0, and Calgary go to Edmonton it's 3, because the distance between them is 3. And Calgary to Vancouver is 10, and Calgary to Seattle is 22. Calgary to Vegas is 27. Yeah, let's do the map, like the calculation, like 10 plus 12 is 22, plus 5 is 27. So that's correct. In like for example, if I say from Vancouver to Edmonton, can you guys tell me what's the number between Vancouver to Edmonton? If you know the answer, you can put it in the chat box. I just want to check if you guys understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, Jerry said he need a link. I may just give you a link. In Jordan said you're working for Microsoft? Yes, I working for Microsoft. Yeah, before. Jerry, do you go to the same school as me? I have no idea. Oh, okay. NVM? What's NVM means? Could you give me a link of the question? Yes, I did. And 25. From Vancouver to did I say from Vancouver to Edmonton? All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah. It sounds like everyone know how to do that. So it's pretty straightforward because you just do the calculation, right? But the thing is, like, if you can, I can give you like 2 minutes. You can think about how to solve this problem, and there are a whole bunch of ways to do that. But yeah, there's some simple way to do it because we only have 5 cities and 4 distance. So that's why if you want to solve this problem, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. But if there are 100 cities, I mean, not for this question, and it will be a little bit hard. But right now, we're just saying, let's just do it in a simple way, okay? And I have to pull my PyCharm. But if you don't have PyCharm, you can go repel it, like this guy, right? You can do this one. But since I like PyCharm and I use PyCharm. All right, you can use the repel it to solve this problem as well. So I use PyCharm, and I already have a folder, and I save all my file here. What's this guy? And yeah, in 2008, I just create one file. A Python file. It's just 2018 j3.py. Yep. So I create a PyCharm file. Okay, as Eric said, Michael said 5 powered by 2 or 3 by 2 or 4 by 2. I have no idea. But let's just do it in a simple way. Let's say if we have this city, Edmonton to Calgary, Calgary to Vancouver, Vancouver to Seattle, and Seattle to Vegas. Let's just simplify these cities. I'm not going to saying every time saying Edmonton to Vancouver or Calgary, right? I may just define A is for Edmonton, and then I have B, and then I have C, and then I have D and E. Okay, so obviously from Edmonton to Vancouver, you know how much of that, right? Because it just always equal to 0. And the same thing for Calgary to Calgary is B, and for Vancouver to Vancouver is C. Let's say I would say A to A is 0 because Edmonton to Edmonton is 0. Calgary to Calgary is 0, and Vancouver to Vancouver is 0, and Seattle to Seattle is 0, and Vegas to Vegas is 0. They're all 0, right? And if A to B, like, right? If you want to know A to B, and you want to know how much of that, or if you know B to C, and then you know C to D, and D to E. Well, you know that, right? Because the input on the first line is already tell you the first number, like here, the first number is 3. It should be A to B. And the second one is B to C, and the third one is C to D, and D to E is equal to 5. So you know, like in here, obviously you can do 3, 10, 12, 5. Okay. So yeah, let's just calculate the first one. For the first one. So if for the first one, like the 0 obviously is AA. Okay. and then you got a space, and then you have to say A to B, right? Because there is Edmonton to Calgary. And then if Edmonton to Vancouver, you should have AB, Edmonton to Calgary plus Calgary to Vancouver should be BC. Okay? And now you have Edmonton to Seattle. So you are going to do AB plus BC plus what? CD. Okay? And now on the last digit here, from Edmonton to Vegas, so it should be just AB plus BC plus CD plus DE. Okay, so you should got the first line. Obviously, it's straightforward, right? So let me just put it in the code and see what happened. And I go back to my Python. It's here. And now I just let's just define some variable. So I just define the variable like this one. Okay. And yeah, I have some variable here, and copy paste, put it here. And not sure it's correct or not. But anyway, I just go ahead to do this, and I just like I want to print something like this. So let's just do D space D space D space D. Hopefully you still remember why I put in D here, because it just like I'm going to put the number in here, and then between them had a space, and I put a tuple here, and of course I will put this guy here, okay? But obviously you have to separate them by comments. Okay, it looks good. And now I can run it. Let me just run it. For the first time, I have to click run, and I choose 2018 J3. So I got the answer like this, and I go back to my sample is 03 13 25 30, 03 13 25 30. Okay, that sounds good. So yeah, I give you a little bit time and you can finish this code. Looks like mine. And I am going to repeat this what I did here. But what I did here is pretty straightforward. The first one is I'm going to get the input, but here I just hardcode them. But since you already know, A, B, B, C, C, D, and D, they all stand for the AB one. It stands for the first distance of this one, which in our case is Edmonton to Calgary. And the second one is going to be C, is Calgary to Vancouver. And the third one is CD, is Vancouver to Seattle. And the fourth one is Seattle to Vegas, is 5. And I also have some city because they are all just the same city, right? A to A, when Edmonton to Edmonton is 0. B to B, C to C, D to D, E to E is 0. So yeah, here is a little bit strange because I just do the calculation for them. Is just like A to A is Edmonton to Edmonton, A to B is Edmonton to Calgary, and now Edmonton to Vancouver you have to do some calculate to do the plus the Edmonton to Calgary and Calgary to Vancouver, and so far so on, and then you just continue to add them up like this one, and eventually you can get the first answer out. That's the straightforward way. And like if you do the same thing, I hope you can finish this code, and after you finish the code, let me know and you say done. At the meantime, I want you to continue to work on the second line, which is from Calgary to Edmonton, Calgary to Calgary, Calgary to Vancouver, Calgary to Seattle, Calgary to Vegas for the second output. And yeah, obviously, if you can continue to work on all of them, that would be very good. Just let me know if you're done, okay? And after that, the thing is became easy because we are going to change this input to the real input. Please let me know if you have any question. And yeah, what Eric asked, what does DDDDD do? Yeah, I think you have missed some of our classes, because in Python, this one looks like a string, right? It's a string, like a sentence, a string. But sometimes you want to change a little bit inside the string, like change in that position. I want to put here, I want to put AA into here. Yeah, into here. If AA is a string, and then I use percentage %s. If AA is a digit, like it's a number, here is integer. So I will put D here. So you can Google the Python string format, like Python string format. So they should tell you a lot of this kind of thing. Yeah, this kind of format, like this kind of format. But yeah, I got to Google a lot and let you know how to do it, because they just try to fill up the things inside here. But their shorthand way is using the percentage. So in the percentage is like you're mapping this tuple one by one, like this one, and they put it here, this one would put it here, and this one would put it here, and this one would put it here, and this one would put it here, okay? Yeah, yeah. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about, because you can still Google it. What is like the string percentage mean? Let me do just Python string with percentage, like something like this. Does it have it? String format. So yeah, here there's some sample here. Yeah, you can go through this one, and they just give you some idea, like S is for string, D is for integers, F is for floating, and dog number digits is floating point, blah blah blah, and some lowercase and uppercase. Never used that, but yeah. Hopefully you understand. But if you don't, you just go this, Google this guy, and you take a look. Yep. It's pretty straightforward. You just fill it up, like you fill up this field. And let's see, everybody just have been done, right? Yeah, everybody done. And you guys are all done for the file output, like this one. For the second one, like this one, like obviously this one is AB, and this one is BB, and this one is let's see, it's BC, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just placeholder. Yeah, you're right. And this guy is BC to CD. Yeah, and BC to CDE. And I'm copy this one and put it here. For the third line, it should be because it should be CC here, and this one is like B to C, and this one should be AB plus BC, and this one is CD, and this one is CD to D. Yeah, it's a little bit dumb, but yeah, I want you to do this first. So for this one, it's like you go DD, and this one is C to D, and this one is BC plus CD, and this one is plus CD, and for this one is D to E. Yep, D to E. And I'm gonna continue like doing that. And this side is E to E, and D to E, CD plus DE, and plus DE, and plus D. Okay, that's the most straightforward way to do that. And I'm gonna run it. So I get something like this, and I go back to my sample. Where's my sample? It's here. And I compare my sample with the answer I have. Is let's just choose 13, the first column, 3, 13, 25, 30, 3, 0, 10, 22, 27, and the last one is 30, 27, 17, 5. Yeah, I guess it's correct. Okay. So the last thing I want to do is just like change this input, right? The input from this input. So you got the input 3, 10, 12, 5 in one line. And I hope you still remember how to do that. So you just like for example, you got the first line, just line equal to input. Okay, and you will have to split them. So you have to split them. So if you want to split them, you need to use the split method in the string. So that's why you have, for example, I get something called x, just a variable name, nothing new, x. So you have x and line dot split with a space, because they split by separate them by space. And for the first one is x0, second one is x1, x2, x3, and if you want to, and you have to, you just integer, because you have to convert the string to integer. I always make this mistake. I forgot to convert them, and it will causing the problem. So I convert them, and I think you will do the same thing like what I did here. So I'm going to run the program, and after I run it, I will explain a little bit on here in case you forgot. So I'm going to just Control R this time, or Command R. And since I already changed you have to come with the input. That's why I come back here. I copy this input and put it here and hit enter, and boom, it just come out the answer, right? Yep. I am going to explain to you one more time about this, what I did here. I just got the input and put it into a variable. I call it lie. You can call it XYZ, whatever you want. And this variable will split by the space, because they separate by the space, right? And after they do the split method will return something called a list, or I don't know, maybe a tuple, but they split and then you got an X. And then you got the X, and then you will have the X0 because it's this first one, and 1, 2, 3. So you put them into the A, B, C, C, D, D, E. All right. So that's how we got the input. We finished the input from the line. We just put it in. And for this one, because you never change, right? A to B, A to A, B, B to B, B, C, C to C, C, D, D to E, never change. That's how you got something here. It looks dumb, but it's straightforward and easy to code. Okay, so Michael said I have to scroll down. Let me see. You can scan here. Okay. Yeah, I got what you mean. So I'm gonna give you like 5 minutes. You're gonna finish this code, and once you finish and you do a sample test, and then after that we just go to this website called run code on the this guy. I may just copy this link and put it to you, and then you go to verify your program. Let me just copy it and see if correct or not, and make sure it's Python 3. So it's fast. It's just 15 out of 15. Okay. Okay, so someone just come in, and since we already finished most of them, and I'm going to explain to you very quick, and hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. So the first one is like we are talking about try to solve the problem in the CCC 2018 J3. It's called Are We There Yet? And you can go come over here and find the question, or you can go to the Waterloo here to find the question. Is on the problem J3. So in this program is like this question is saying you have 5 cities. So you drive all the way from Edmonton to Calgary, Calgary to Vancouver, Vancouver to Seattle, and Seattle to Vegas. And Eric said light dog split is not working for me. And what does it mean? It's not working for you. Yeah, you have to have the space. Yeah, let me just show the code to you. Okay. Yeah. So you have to have the space. Okay. Because you have to split them. If you want to debug, you can just see print X and see what happened. You can print X and see the result. Like if I'm running it and I paste my thing, whoopsie, that's not very good. Oopsie, again, it's like style. And I go back here. Where's it? Here. Copy the input. So I got something like this. It should be a leaks. So yeah, you can. That's the way you can do the debug. Let me see what it is. Never thought about that. Yeah, it's a leaks. Okay. So yeah, you have to get the input. Otherwise, your line doesn't have anything. And could you? I just explain to you very quick. And at the meantime, you can read the question by yourself. You just this question just like doing a very funny thing. You just calculate the distance between two cities. In like for example, you go from Edmonton to Calgary, Calgary to Vancouver, Vancouver to Seattle, Seattle to Vegas. And for example, if you want to know from Calgary to Vancouver, so you got the answer because we already know from Calgary to Vancouver. But if you want to know from Edmonton to Vancouver, so you have to press Edmonton to Calgary, Calgary to Vancouver. You press these two distance, you know when Edmonton to Vancouver. And also if you from Vancouver to Seattle, Vancouver to Vegas, so you just press Vancouver to Seattle this distance, to Seattle to Vegas this distance. And that's why we define some variable, like for example AB means A to B. Let's say Edmonton is A, Calgary is B, Vancouver is C, Seattle is D, and Vegas is E. And that's why we do we define AB is number 3, which compared to the you compare to the question, you understand is number 3. So that's the first instance distance. And then so you will understand it just like AB, BC, CD, DE, they just the distance for Edmonton to Calgary, Calgary to Vancouver, Vancouver to Seattle, Seattle to Vegas. But the question here is they're asking for a table. This table is going to ask to have all the distance, like all of them from any city. Like for the first one is for Edmonton, Edmonton to Calgary, Edmonton to Vancouver, Edmonton to Seattle, Edmonton to Vegas. And the second line is Edmonton to Edmonton, Edmonton to Calgary, and Edmonton and Calgary to Vancouver, and Vancouver, Calgary to Seattle, and Calgary to Vegas. Yeah, I know. So I hope you can get what I'm saying. And that's why we come up with this solution. It's dumb and it's fun. Yeah, I forgot about this because I just have the input, like splitting the first line into this distance, right? Hopefully you got what I'm saying. And then the output is just like, yeah, because we define AA is Edmonton to Edmonton, BB is Calgary to Calgary, and EE is Vegas to Vegas. And that's why we just press them all, and then we have this come up. Okay, and now I hope you already done, and most of people already finished the code. And let me see. And please explain the solution. So in the solution is straightforward here because we're just saying, yeah, for the first one is Edmonton to Edmonton. It is already defined AA. Edmonton to Calgary is AB. And Edmonton to Vancouver is Edmonton to Calgary plus Calgary to Vancouver, and then it's all the way, just add them up, and every time just add one more. And that is the very dumb way to do that, but it's fast, and you never know when you are in the contest. You can finish it as soon as possible, right? And then you go to the second line. The second one is just the same thing. For the AB, it's just Edmonton to Calgary, and BB, Calgary to Calgary, and BC is Calgary to Vancouver. And then so far you can just add them up, and then you continue to add them up and continue to add them up. And for the rest of them, hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. So I guess most of you guys have finished, and then we're going to use another solution. We are not just doing like this, because like what I told you before, you probably have it is 0. Yeah, it is 0, because Edmonton to Edmonton is 0, and Calgary to Calgary is 0. Okay, yeah, because if you probably have like 100 cities, right? 100 cities or 1,000 cities, or you don't want to just do what I did here. It just try to add 100 cities together. So what we are going to do is, like, let's think about like this. Let's think about like this, in this way. So you have A, B, C, D, E, right? Let's just say if A, B, C, D, E, I just change to, let's just change it in a little bit. You have A, B, C, D, E. Let's say just 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. If A, B, C, D, E is go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, and then you have the distance between them, like 0 to 1 is AB. So let's say just the first one value is 3. Then the second value is 10, and then CD is 12, and now it's 5. Okay. If you still remember, in Sunday's class we learned the links. If you are not in the class, you still know in the links. So think about if this one is the links. So if you start from the index 0, and then index 1, index 2, index 3, and of course here there's no index 5, right? But you can think about maybe there's index 5. But if you set from 0 to 1, 0 to 1, from 0 to 1, okay, if from 0 to 1, you know, you can index 0 to 1, you can get this value, the first value, which in this case is 3. If from 0 to 2, and then you will get from 3 to 10, this one. And if you want from like from the city of Calgary, which is 1 to Seattle, so you got to have these two, which is Calgary, like these two. You add them up, right? These two. Hopefully you got what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm going to show you in the code, and you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's just remove this or this one. Oops. Let me just make a. Let me just save it, because I had the PyCharm, and I'm going to create a new file. and I give it a name called 2018J31, just this one. Okay, so I would say, for example, I have the input and I put the input into a list. So let's just say the list is X. Okay, X. So you have the first one like 3, 10, 12, and 5. So if I want from the index from 0 to, let's say from index 0 to let's say just to 2. Okay, to 2. Okay, which one is 0, 1, 2? So I have to get these 2, right? So which is x 0 plus x 1. If I want from 0 to 3, so I have to calculate x to 2, something like this. I hope you know what I mean, because we just convert this one into a list. Yeah, you're right, Eric. We are going to do that. And like what Eric said, can we just do something like a function? So before we want to put something into a function, you know what's that function do, right? You have to understand what's that function do. So let's just define a function to do. If I give you 2 index, if I give you two number, 2 index, 2 number, let's say numbers, and I'm gonna call a function, and then this function will return the distance of that 2 cities, those 2 cities. Oops, too long. All right, so yeah, I know I talk too much, but when you got the idea, you can do it by yourself. But right now, I just try to demo to you guys how to develop an idea and convert your idea into a language, programming language like the Python, because it's just conversion. Like if you got the idea, oh, I know how to solve the problem, but you still get into a process, try to convert those ideas into programming language. That's why we do it step by step. Okay, but in the real test, you can do it really fast. Okay, so we just use def. We have the function name called, let's just say distance, or maybe just get distance. Okay, and then you give a name called get distance, and you have a parenthesis and a column, and here you will do your code. Since I didn't do anything, I just put pass. What pass do is just do nothing. It's do nothing. Okay, inside here you start to think, what are you going to do? Put it into the distance. You got to put 2 numbers, because these 2 numbers will stand for the cities, from which city to which city. So we use this city, use the number like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just like the index, okay? But it just like the index, but it's not the index, okay? But yeah, let's say we have the first number, like the beginning, like begin and end, okay, B and E. How do you do functions? So I'm doing the function right now, right? So for the function in Python, you have a keyword called def, and then you have a name, you put a name, space, put a name called get distance. Okay, for this get distance, you don't have to say get distance. You can name it any name. And then you have the parenthesis, which is inside this parenthesis, you put the parameters like B and E. I name them. B is the beginning, E is the ending. Or you can do just saying star or N or SE or BE, as long as you can remember them. But yeah, I know someone just saying star or N, yeah, would be much more better. Yep. Okay, so if you got the start position and end position, I want you to tell me how to return the distance. So, which is easy, but like you might have to go through from for example, if you start equal to n, if start from equal to n, it would be 0, right? So if star equal to n, you return 0. Any idea? You just start from and then return to 0. There's no doubt, right? Because the Edmonton to Edmonton is 0, Calgary to Calgary is 0. Okay. If the star is not equal to n, okay, it's not equal to n, and how do we calculate them? Like for example, if star is from 0 to 2, 0, 1, 2. So how are we going to do that? Right? There's a whole bunch of way, right? Yeah, you can just do, if you know the substring, you can get from 0 to here. You can just get this substring, and then you use a function called sum. I'll show you. Python have the function called sum. You can sum them up. Like, for example, you have numbers. So you just do the sum, and you sum up the array or the sublist. But here, since we if you want to do that, you can still do that. But here I want to do just like use a while loop. So I just do a while loop. Let me define index here. Index equal to star, because we from the star, right? And then while, it's up to you. But yeah, you can do the sum. Okay. Once again, if index less than n, we will do the loop. Like for example, if index less than n, we will add them up. And then we obviously we need one more variable. Let's just saying distance equal to 0, because it will be just 0, right? And here inside this while, you just have distance plus equal, or you just saying equal distance. and plus an x index. What I mean here is x, like for example from 0 here, you x0 is 3, right? And you press the index, distance. Right now is 0, so you have the 3. And if you go next round, so the index have to press increase 1. Like here, if you don't want to write that much, you can do this, because you just add them up into the distance. And now, if the index like from 0, 1, 2, and you want 0, 1, 2, from 0 to 2, and you still got x1 in the index 1, and increase to 2, because 2 to 2 is they are equal, and this condition is false. Okay, and then they will end this loop. And after that, you have to return the distance, right? And now let's just do some tests. I just print get distance. Let's just 0 to 1. And in this case, it should be, let's just remove this part. It's just borrowed, probably not. 0 to 1, I should get answer 3. So I'm gonna run it. And I choose run. And I choose J31. And I got the answer 3. Okay? And then you continue to do 0 to 2, 0 to 3, or 1 to 2, 1 to 3, or 2 to 3, 2 to 1. But there's one bug. If the star is created less than the n, what would happen? So I want you to finish this code first. And we probably have to continue next week. But as long as you get this distance function working, and I want you to go home and then try to solve the question 3 in this way. The question 3 in this function way, and more professional way for this problem. Okay, but we developed to here. It's just like yeah, we developed to here. So I hope you can get what I'm saying. If you still have question, and please let me know. Like Eric said, does the index plus work as index plus equal 1? Yes. Let me try, because I'm not sure. Let me try repel here. A equal to 0, A plus print A. See, Eric. So yeah, in most of the language like Python, JavaScript, C#, Java, they do plus, but for some reason Python doesn't want to do plus or minus, like minus, something like this. They don't do that. They just don't do that. I'm not sure why, but yeah, they like this way. Okay. Yeah, I give you a few minutes. You finish this code, and you also fix the problem, like if star is less than n, you still can get the correct answer for the get distance. And also what I want you to do is you use this method to get the correct answer of this question, okay, of this kind of output. The reason we are using this method, not because it's the easy way, is because we wanted to do it more professional. I mean, but of course, if you are in the contest, I might choose this one because it's much more straightforward, and it just take you like 5 minutes or 2 minutes, you can finish this question. But for us, since we want to learn the Python, and I want you to do more compressed, like use more syntax, like while, or you can do, if you are good at the sublets, like you can do like this way, x 2 to 5 or something like this. You can get the sublets, and then you sum them. You can sum them, and then you can get the sum. Okay, I hope you got what I'm saying. After you finish and all the output, and email me your answer. And by the way, if there are millions of cities in these questions, you got to think about how to improve the performance. Since you found that every time we just, like for example, calculate a plus b, ab plus bc, ab plus bc plus cd, or this calculation, you just repeat them again and again. If you found then, oh, in my calculation we do it again and again, and in this function every time you put star and n, as long as I calculate once, like I calculate once from 1 to 2 or 1 to 10, I don't have to go through this code block, right? If I already get the answer. And that's the way we set up something called hash table or memory. So we just put it into a memory or a dictionary, like a dictionary. And then every time you just check your dictionary, if you already get the answer, and you return it immediately. Like you can, if I already got the answer, I will just return it, and I don't do the rest of the calculation. So what that do, we'll go into something called dynamic programming, which you haven't learned it yet, and most of the time we will use that to solve the problem question 5, to improve the performance. Okay, but I haven't got, I'm not going to cover that yet. But what I want you to do is just like simply finish this question and use the this technique. Okay, and I think that's it for today. And once again, please send me the answer if you already used the function to solve the problem. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Hey son.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm very good.
Okay, that's good.
You can turn off your YouTube the voice. So
Yeah, I just turned off the YouTube, so you're gonna put it on the YouTube and then I'll just turn
no,
it
no,
off.
no. I just share my screen. Give me one
Sure,
second.
sure.
So my screen is here, right? Okay, share. All right. Hopefully you can see my screen.
I see it.
Okay, so this one is just plus equal. It's just like a shorthand for distance plus. Like the same thing, like index plus. So you got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they just repeat tying the same variable, same variable. So this so that's why they have this kind of shorthand thing. They put the plus here, which means distance equal to distance plus something. Index equal to index plus something. You just use the plus equal. So not a big deal. It's just like some lazy guy and doing some lazy thing.
Oh yeah, it saves some time, so like you don't have to like.
Yeah, it's okay if you don't like it. So like some other people doesn't like it, and you may just do what I did here. It's clear and you can read it fast. But like some Python guy, they like this kind of thing. And if you learn a lot, and they also use something called lambda, and which is they put one line for a function. And then it's also like a function, but they only have one line. Okay, but here is like what I'm saying. You just put the plus over here. It means distance equal to distance plus something. Okay.
Yeah. Like to visualize it that way. Also, I have another question.
Mm.
There are like the other questions which are like a bit simpler, which would be better geared towards a beginner, because like when these questions most of the time it's kind of hard for me to complete them without help. So I'm wondering if there are any simpler questions which I can do in my free time.
Oh, yeah. See, they always have this. The difficulty for the CCC is like the first question is the most easiest question, right?
Yeah, kind of like how they do the math.
Yeah. So I would, if I were you, I would just do all the J1 first, like from 1996 to 2009, and you can just do the J1.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the website I go to look at the test?
Oh yeah, you can go if you want to go to the originally one, like the Waterloo one. You just type CCC questions, and then it will come up with the Waterloo website, the first item. So you click this item, and then you go on your left hand side. There's past contest, and then you scroll all the way down. You choose here, Canadian Computing Competition CCC.
The CCO.
Yeah. So if, for example, like you want to do 2020, and you click 2020, and then you find junior programs. Okay. So yeah.
Sorry. What is the Beaver Computing Challenge? Is that harder? Is that